Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
Today is Wednesday, otherwise known as Hump Day. For those of you who need a little extra push getting over the hump, that's what we are here for. To push you. I'm kidding. We're here to entertain you, but in any event. All right, so we proceed to the latest now in a local news list from SKN Vibes. As the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, continues its road rehabilitation project on the Island Main Road, Minister of Communications and Works, the Honorable Spencer Brand, says he is pleased with upgrades and enhancement underway in the second phase of the project. He said, quote, "I want to thank the project managers for their continued due diligence in ensuring that the project is executed to the high standard that we agreed to. I believe that when this project is completed, we will see significant improvement in the general environs from Nisbet all the way over to Cliff Dwellers," end quote. Mr. Dylan Webb, project manager for the NIA, said Phase 2 encompasses 3.4 kilometers of road, 2.5 kilometers from Cliff Dwellers to the end of Cottle's Long Path, and 0.9 kilometers from Shaw's Road to Nisbet Plantation. He thanked the other stakeholders in the project telecommunications companies, Flow and Digicel, the Nevis Electricity Company, NEVLEC, the NIA Information and Communications Technology ICT Department, and the Water Department for their contribution to the overall success of the project.
We continue now, this from Win Media SKN. The Alexandra Hospital expansion looks beautiful on the outside, but yet to be completed on the inside, confirm the Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis. The Premier stated, and quote, "On the outside it looks absolutely phenomenal, because we have decided that what we will do is to improve the aesthetics because of all the work now to be done is to be done on the inside." Brantley added, "The advice we got from the contractors is that they wanted to close up the building, meaning to putting windows and doors because a lot of the interior is going to be sheetrock and drywall. They are saying they don't want it to be open to the elements," end quote. The Premier of Nevis will deliver the 2023 budget address for the island of Nevis on February the 20th, 2023. The budget allocation for the completion of the Alexandra Hospital expansion project will be debated upon in Parliament.
And in other news, this from SKNIS. Vendors of the Borio Community Strip were given the opportunity to share their concerns with the Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, Miguel Fleming, during a meeting held at their stalls in Borio on Tuesday, February 7, 2023. During a brief interview with the Ministry's Media and Communication team, the Acting Permanent Secretary pledged his support on behalf of the Ministry to ensure that the vendors can comfortably ply their trade at the Borio Strip. The need for bathroom facilities and infrastructural improvements were just a few of the issues discussed. The Permanent Secretary said he is committed to assisting the food suppliers and farmers who have not been able to occupy their designated stalls for several months. He reassured them of his ministry's plans to enhance the project, which will in turn improve the quality of their services.
Now for the weather forecast, it is mostly sunny, with a high of 75 and a low of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your hourly and weekly weather. It is currently 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And stay tuned, regional and international news after this.
No cash, no card, no problem. JAD. Embrace the freedom.
Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning and welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As we continue now with regional news, this from CNW News. Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday said it is prepared to assist the Caribbean Community CARICOM countries further develop their oil and gas industries and has taken a deliberate policy to engage its regional neighbors in the development of economic cooperation in the energy sector. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, addressing the opening of Guyana's International Energy Conference and Expo, told more than 1,200 delegates that crude oil, which was once seen as being at margins in the region, has become a focal point with major discoveries in Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Belize, and Trinidad and Tobago. He said global trends such as climate change are forcing rethinking of investments, especially in the light of a reshuffling of global economic activity and significant demand and growth in the developing world.
Moving on to the international scene, this from UN News. Almost 400 women leaders from 15 African countries joined the UN-backed three-day conference, which opened on Monday, including former and current presidents. The goal is to advance progress, tackle pressing concerns, and find sustainable solutions to issues affecting women and girls in South Sudan and across Africa. The conference's theme is Wa Tamara, meaning the strength of women. During the meeting, speakers agreed that challenges persist in the areas of leadership and governance, climate change, economic challenges, access to education, and gender-based violence. Sudan's President Salva Kiir Mayardit said, quote, "The protection of women's rights is important to us in government. Our country cannot afford gender-based violence as it hinders peace and development. Let us keep working towards a better day for women and girls," end quote. Very strong words and important words to hear. All right, with that, we end the latest for today, but we'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. See you on the other side of this break.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Black History Month is celebrated every year in February, but have you ever stopped to wonder why it's celebrated and why in this month? Let's have a look at this video from the YouTube page Let's Teach, explaining its origins.
In the United States, February is known as Black History Month. During this time, the stories, achievements, and milestones of African Americans are commemorated, with the media and classrooms across the country putting these into focus. In this episode of Let's Teach, I'll explain exactly why Black History Month is celebrated in February. By the way, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Okay, we can't talk about Black History Month without getting to know a historian named Carter G. Woodson, who is widely regarded as the pioneer of the field of African American studies. In the early 20th century, he co-founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, or ASNLH for short, after being inspired by the national celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, which lasted for 3 whole weeks. The ASNLH began as a way to encourage American scholars to examine Black history, which was a subject that had long been ignored by academia. Their efforts to get this topic into the mainstream increased throughout the years, and in 1926, they, along with Woodson, launched Negro History Week. The second week of February was chosen for this celebration because it encompassed the birthdays of former United States President Abraham Lincoln and the renowned abolitionist Frederick Douglass, who were born on February 12th and February 14th, respectively. Both men had contributed greatly to liberating African Americans from slavery, which was why Woodson chose to honor their legacy. It didn't take long before Negro History Week turned into a month-long celebration of the African American community and their achievements. The celebration took on even more significance in the 1960s, a decade that saw an increasing number of Black people becoming conscious of their identity and shared heritage. In 1976, the ASNLH, which was later renamed the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, advocated for the institutionalization of Black History Month. Their pleas reached the White House, where then President Gerald Ford made it official. He further urged the public to participate in the celebration, saying that they should seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. His statement would be echoed by most subsequent presidents. For example, President Joe Biden released a statement saying that this February, during Black History Month, I call on the American people to honor the history and achievements of Black Americans, and to reflect on the centuries of struggle that have brought us to this time of reckoning, redemption, and hope. President Biden ended this statement poignantly, saying that we do so not only because it is the right thing to do, but because it is the smart thing to do and benefits all of us in this nation. Due to restrictions brought on by the COVID-19 global pandemic, organizations have had to be a little more creative with their Black History Month celebrations. The Association for the Study of African American Life and History chose the theme Black Health and Wellness and offered a virtual festival on their website that featured relevant discussions such as Black bodies, African American contributions to medical discovery and public health, along with an author's book talk about the book These Shoulders I Stand On. So, did you know the origin story of Black History Month? I didn't. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the topic? Do you have anything you can add? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.
That was a very enlightening video.
It was.
I think I learned quite a bit. Was not aware of the origins of Black History Month to that extent. How about you?
Yes, indeed. I wasn't aware, so I didn't know it was Mr. Carter that started it. I can't remember his last name, but I remember Carter because
Woodson.
Oh, Mr. Woodson is the one that was instrumental in starting it.
So the question now, turning to our context, is how do we celebrate Black history here in the Caribbean?
Well, I've recently seen, since I've been back home, that the schools have the kids either wear a bottom or a top or an entire outfit of African cloth, I guess, to celebrate. And I don't know what is taught in schools.
Probably falls within both the curriculum of the social studies and the history, if they're doing history.
Okay.
That definitely you would appreciate our culture. It's every time we have this discussion, I keep saying it, every time we have this discussion, it's good, but it also reminds me of how segregated we've tended to be because of things that were not of our choosing. And so I guess this is a way for us to come together, to unify, and stand in solidarity, basically, about issues that affect Black people in general.
We have a tendency of saying it doesn't affect us because we weren't there, so we don't know what happened, so why are we celebrating? But if we don't celebrate the legacies of the ones who were our foreparents, then who will?
And as you say that, I always love to just focus on the individual words. When we think of a celebration, it is something that we should be joyful for, right? It also says to me that we should be expectant of what we have to achieve, where we're going. And in order to appreciate that, we also have to appreciate where we came from as people of color. And really, we came a long way. I mean, we saw it, and there were some instances where I think that, unfortunately, and I'll give you this example. Unfortunately, I think that we've regressed. I remember when President Barack Obama was elected, there was talk that, you know, by 2020, there will be an increase in racism, etc. I'm thinking, but how can you say that when you have the first African-American president? But as we can see, we're in 2023, and we have instances of it. People still don't understand our struggle. They don't understand us. And it's very difficult to get people to see beyond the surface because they're looking at the color of the skin and seemingly what that tends to signify within, let's talk about it, the American context.
Yeah, but the racism has increased. But do you realize the racism is even amongst ourselves? Because the most recent incident in America, Tyree Nichols, it wasn't white cops that beat him to death or beat him to the extreme that he eventually ended up dead. Well, all Black cops.
So would you call that racism? Because I've had this debate before.
It is racism, because it's obviously, as I said, someone said them stopping him and confronting him goes deeper than just a stop. Apparently it has one of them and him have some sort of issues. That's what one of
remember you said that, but is it racism though? Because I say that because when we think of it, colorism and racism, they're close, but they are different, obviously. So if we're looking at people who have the same complexion in saying
Could still
that
be racism because we don't like each other and all the way the same color. So would you consider that colorism then? Or just hate?
Well, that probably is a blanket word that would apply in this case. I don't see racism applying because I've
same color.
Had discussions with very angry callers at one point or another who said to me, you know, racism goes deeper than what we think it is, and it's ingrained, it's almost institutionalized, it seems. And so it's a wiring of people, and how do you reprogram, you know, centuries of that sort of programming? And as we talk about Black History Month, I think it is incumbent upon us to elevate our own race, to be respectful, to show that we are indeed worthy of our place in society.
Exactly.
And we just have to embody what Black is. To me, Black is pride.
Yeah, pride, beautiful, educated, everything in one. I remember I was reading something up on Marcus Garvey, and he encouraged the Blacks when he had the movements to get an education, pursue a career so that they can match up because of what was going on in the US, so they can have equality. Yeah. He told them basically having these stuff makes you entitled to a piece of the pie.
You know, it's interesting that we're talking about this because obviously when we talk about, you know, Black History Month, we're looking at the achievements of Black people. We also understand that because racism, to some degree, some would say is probably institutionalized, that we have actually needed a helping hand, call it affirmative action or whatever you call it. We've needed those helping hands to ensure that there was some balancing act. Yes. And I remember months ago when we were talking about a particular university, I really don't remember, it was a US university. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if my memory serves me right, I think it was in California. And there was a university, when we were talking about, you know, affirmative action, somebody brought a suit that effectively stated that because such places were offered to minorities, they felt disadvantaged. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happened to that suit because I didn't follow up since, but that's the whole thing. It's like, we need to celebrate it. There is some equalizing effect that's taking place, but at the same time, we ought to take advantage of the opportunities and be proud of, you know, those opportunities that we are given and make the most of them.
Yeah.
Seriously. So as we talk about Black History Month here in the Caribbean, we're doing a lot of talking, aren't we? Yeah. As we talk about Black History Month here in the Caribbean, let's know that Black represents pride.
Yeah.
And we should be proud.
We should indeed be proud because we've gotten far and we continue to rise amongst ourselves and even with others that are coming and taking up space with us here in the Caribbean. So let's all be proud to be Black. And with that said, see you after this short break.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
exotic experience.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, this Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it, go already. See me. I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lad, a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
For this edition of Youth Power, we welcome Devon Rowland, an up-and-coming cinematographer. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, Jamie. Good morning. How everyone doing?
We're great. I should say welcome back to Good Morning SKN because you've been here behind the scenes.
Yeah, multiple times. People don't know that.
People know now.
They know now.
Right, so it's good to have you here, Devon. And let's talk about your career in videography and photography. How did that begin?
Okay. Well, to be honest, I was actually studying medicine. And in high school, that was like my interest. And my head teacher, my headmaster, Miss Joy Napier, she always told me, you know, you're very creative, you should pursue something. And I used to do music on the side, but it was more so I was always thinking about going to do medicine.
Okay.
And a photography competition came about and she was like, you should enter. You know, it's fun. And I was like, I don't really have no interest. I never did photography, so I didn't really have an interest. And she pushed me. I actually entered my photo on the deadline of the photography competition, and I won.
Oh, nice.
And then I kind of dabbled with it ever since, but I didn't really take it serious until leaving college in 2018.
Okay, so am I to suggest that you went to school in Nevis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my entire life, Nevis. Acquisition though, but vision.
Gotcha.
Nice. So, Jamie, before you continue, so what about those studies for medicine? They're on hold. Are you going to pursue them later?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No.
Oh, all right.
That's fine to pass.
Okay.
It's fine to pass. It's fine to pass.
Okay.
I just keep up the knowledge in case somebody take in around me.
Okay.
So I could, lend some form of assistance. Okay. But in terms of actually pursuing it as a career, no, that's in the past.
Okay.
I'll just call you Dr. Cinematography. That works, right?
That sounds perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right, so your skills and experience, obviously you dabbled in it over the years, but let's talk about building those skills to the point where you realized, you know what, this is something I can make a career out of.
Okay, so growing up in Nevis, it was like looking around, you build your skill pool depending on the professionals you see in your environment. But there was probably only maybe 2-3 photographers in Nevis, and I've always been raised to think outside the box. So I had a lot of Kittitian friends, and I realized Kittitian was more so the creative side of the federation, while Nevis was the more business-oriented side, if you want to put it that way. So I gained more connections. I started to understand networking very early, so I gained more connections. But then there was still a certain level that I wanted to tap into. So I started studying cinema, which is movies. I started to watch movies, and then I started to watch breakdowns, watch how movies are made, watch what makes $1 million movie different from a Caribbean after movie, and understanding that and implement it into my Caribbean style, so to say. And that is what kind of where I gained the growth from. I'm kind of aiming for a level that they say can only be achieved through millions, but achieving it where I'm at now.
Oh, nice.
One follow-up. What is that difference between those two types?
Planning. We shoot a lot of events here. We shoot a lot of run and gun stuff, so we kind of been programmed to think that we can't plan a shoot. So like if you're going to shoot an event, someone say, hey, I want you to do the after movie for my event. They say, okay, cool. But then you kind of just wait till the event come, you shoot some clips and then you edit them together. Where I would sit down, my song, edit the video too. I would have key shots that I want to capture and then capture them at the event, and they would be the driving force of my video. So like there's certain parts of my video I could tell you that I've had them in my head before the video was created, so that when I go on the day, I look, and then I find the moment, and then I'm like, okay, I could create this with this. Wow. And then it's just planning. There's a reason why a movie takes 2 to 3 years to film, because most of it is post-production, then production, pre-production, production, then post-production. You can't enter it without all the steps working together.
So when you film something for somebody, how soon can they expect to have it in their hands?
Oh yeah, no, me no.
It's obvious I don't.
Oh yeah, no, me no. Oh, my videos will be up the next day. Wow.
But you said you planned everything you want.
That's why they could be up the next day.
Wow. Okay, you go, guy.
So it really, if you ever don't see a video up for me the next day, it's probably because I'm sleepy.
Yes.
And because I'm having trouble editing up the next day. Okay. Sometimes they're up the same day.
Okay, I have one more question. From what I'm hearing, are you self-taught?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then a lot of my skill, I would be honest, is a lot of raw ability. So it's a lot of raw talent. I'm very open with saying that. I feel like people shy away from saying that because it seems egotistical, but I'm a lot of raw talent. A lot of my refining of that talent comes from my workplace, which is modern elegance photography. They saw it and then they're like, okay, you could do a lot, but fix these things, and then you're gonna be able to use them properly, rather than just having a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I know how to do, but then I try to do all at once and kind of put myself in issues. So they're teaching me how to use that effectively.
Good stuff.
How important is that mentorship for you in terms of your trajectory, where you see yourself in the
future? Very important. I'm someone who I dream a lot. I'm a dreamer. I call myself a dreamer. I base a lot of my goals on dreams. And one of my biggest dreams is to get a film award and go up there and just give everybody the credit. That's literally one of my biggest dreams.
But you know the music might cut you off and run you off the stage. You know the music might be playing and run you off the stage.
Yeah, I understand.
I was going to say, you probably planned it before, so you'll know exactly how to do it, right?
Okay, all right.
Wow. Now I'm eager to know about some of the first projects that you worked on. Were they really wrong?
My first video project, I will be honest with you, because I was in Nevis and I didn't have much of the events that St. Kitts have. A lot of my event stuff that I wanted to do started when I moved over. So what I had to do is I actually shot my little sister for years. My little sister is a tennis player and she likes modeling and she likes fashion and stuff. So I just kind of shot her for years. I would just be like, I have an idea, and she would be like, what's the idea? And then I'd be like, this is the idea. And then she would say, okay, let's go tongue and do it. And she would always make herself available. So a lot of my improvement actually come from her just being willing. And even there was days when I gave up, because when I had me first couple ideas and they didn't come out how I want them to, I was like, okay, this photography thing ain't for me. But then she would be like, no, you just gotta keep pushing, keep pushing. And then now that I'm somewhat rising, as people say, she kind of just looks on and be like, see, I told you.
So does she collect her juice?
Yeah, all the time.
I like that. I like that.
All right, so we'll take a break and we'll continue this discussion in a moment. More with Devon in a flash. Stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Yoshi Voice representing for Good Morning SKN. We say good vibes, good energy, blessings and love. Voice rated.
Welcome back to our Youth Power segment as we continue this engaging discussion with the cinematographer, Devon Rowland. Devon, how did you come up with the name for your business?
I had 4 names before.
4? Okay.
4. And just a correction, this ain't my business. This is my brand.
Oh, it's his brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a business yet.
Okay.
It's just my brand.
Okay.
So I always went through different names.
Okay.
But I always wanted a name that kind of encapsulated the essence of what I like to capture.
Okay.
Which is this story.
Okay.
And a true story is always a behind the scene process.
I like that.
So it's BTS, behind the scenes Roland, BTS Roland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes Roland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not getting off the hook that easily because you had 4 names. Let's go through some of those.
I don't remember any of the others.
Wow, can you imagine?
Yeah,
you're not giving me a behind the scenes look right now. You know?
I can genuinely try, but my little sister sent me one the other day because it was like going through the history of like our photos, but I don't remember any of them. And that's because BTS Roland kind of when I came up with the name today and I press enter on Instagram, it was like, yeah, this ain't changing. This is it.
No.
I've always changed my name and be like, I'm going to change this eventually. This doesn't, something about it sounds good, but something doesn't feel right. And then I changed the BTS role and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. And I had it on Instagram dormant for 2 years before I actually started using it. That's how much I loved it.
All right, but since you're talking about social media right now, how do you effectively market your brand on social media?
Understanding it. Social media is about giving people fast.
I'm laughing because I know that to be true.
Right? So it's about taking the curious nature of people and targeting it at something. So people want to know what's going on with me. Okay, cool. You want to know what's going on? I'm shooting an event today. Watch my video.
Okay.
And I take them along the process, and I put all my passion into social media. I put all my ego and drive into social media so that my reality remains grounded. So all of the letting it go to your head thing, I channel it through that. So that when it's time to ground myself to create, that doesn't mask me or blind me. I can create very transparently and judge myself very evenly throughout everything without having to be like, yeah, I'm that guy, and letting it actually affect my growth. Because that's one of my biggest fears, actually letting stuff get to my head and affecting my growth and not growing anymore. So I put all of that into social media. So I show them everything, but everything that I want them to see. Because they don't know anything about my personal life, personally. But they know everything about we're not everything about BTS Roland. They don't know anything about Devon Roland.
That's nice, that's nice.
I can relate. I love that. You're speaking to me right now. Thanks for the confirmation, by the way.
No problem.
All right. Oh.
No, go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
No, I'm just here eager to talk to Devon. Okay, so what would you say your business is really known for? Because you're talking about not your business, your brand, forgive me. So is there a service, is there a thing that people go to you for by default, or is it all encompassing?
So at first it was kind of all over the place, but now I've mainly been transitioning to events, event photography, event videography. That's it, events. How to word this? I feel like every creative has a certain way that they see the world that someone else can't really relate to. I go to events and I follow events from the moment the first poster is released to when the after movie is released, and I call that the event lifeline.
Okay, yes.
I follow the event lifeline and I find the event lifeline very interesting. I watch how someone births the event, raises the event, nurtures the event, and then lets the event go out to college and be its own person. That's how I look at it. So I like capturing that story. So for me, it's just about going. And I always tell people when I edit and I do my after movies, it's not really for the people who went. It's for the people who didn't go to regret that they didn't go.
You be dropping them. You be dropping them. Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're capturing that story, and the way that you speak about it, the event lifeline, it makes everything unique. It's not just another event. It's a story that has a life. Great.
I challenge myself by just, like I said, planning. It's actually way easier to just go out, shoot, put a bunch of clips together, and think, because if I'm being very honest, the standard of St. Kitts and Nevis in terms of cinema is low.
Okay.
I don't judge myself on that standard. The people I look up to, the people I look at, and I'm like, yeah, I want to meet you someday, they are leagues ahead of me. So it's like I put myself on that. I don't necessarily compare myself to them.
Yes.
Because I have my own style, but in terms of what I am aiming to achieve in terms of level of quality, it's not on this spectrum, it's on that spectrum. So it's like I look at that, and whenever I put out something that is just a bunch of clips put together, I delete it. I'm like, yeah, this ain't me.
So I hear your goal, but have you planned, let's say, have you said by 2020 or by 2030, I'm going to be there with these people?
Yeah.
Do you have such a plan in place?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a 2-year plan.
Okay.
I have a 5-year plan, and then I have a 10-year plan.
Good stuff.
So I'll tell you my 2-year, and I'll tell you my 5-year plan. Okay. So in 2 years, between next year, 2 years starting next year, actually. Okay. So next year gonna be the first year in the 2-year plan. I want to go to every Caribbean carnival. But not just travel and go. I want to be hired to go and shoot. I don't feel like it's an accomplishment if I go myself.
Okay.
It's a personal accomplishment for luxury. But I want to be recognized, chosen, and go out to shoot. Like, this is my duty. I'm out here to have fun. I will have fun,
yes,
but I'm out here mainly for this purpose. That is, and I want to do it for every Caribbean carnival.
Nice.
I want to visit all, and I don't count Miami as the Caribbean carnival. Even though people say it's like the ending, I want to go to every Caribbean island carnival.
Okay, got you.
For 5 years, I want to take the footage from that and create a carnival documentary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good thing.
I can actually visualize that. Yeah. And if I can visualize it, I can only imagine what your mind is already doing.
I already
with
have
that.
this story.
Yeah.
It's just to put in the work to get the opportunities to go.
You've spoken it, so the universe is listening. So we pray that it works out.
Yeah, I feel like it will.
It will.
Well, I just got mesmerized by some footage that I saw on the screen because we were going to be speaking, of course, to you about the highlights of your career, and we have a few. Carnival 2022, 2023. We've got the Old World Rum Shoots, and we've got Cooler Fete. What was the takeaway from each of these, if you remember the highlights? Okay, there's some of your footage.
Okay. Oh, that looks so nice. I wonder who shot it.
We don't know, y'all. We don't know who.
Oh, that's my friend Shavi. Right? Okay, so I'll tell you, everything that you saw in December was done to create the carnival video. At the start of December, I actually sat with my friends and I said, I've been waiting for carnival to touch the road for a very long time. I'm a lover of the carnival experience. So I've been waiting for carnival to touch the road again since COVID.
Yes.
So I decided every event I go to, I'll shoot and I'll put out a video. But all of that will be leading to Parade. Parade Day will be my best video I've put, because I've always told people on my Instagram, the level of quality that I can produce, I haven't actually shown it on Instagram yet, because I don't want to show it and then tomorrow the quality drops. So I was building myself mentally, getting my mental in order so that when I do release it, I could keep the standard every single time. It was like, kind of timed it perfectly where Parade starts the new year. So it's bam, introducing my full potential. As of right now, this is what you'll be seeing and better from now on for the new year. So it was that. And that carnival video, I have a bad habit of editing, putting out stuff, and then hating them after. I still love that video to this day.
Okay, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Now, before we go, I'm gonna ask you for some advice for young and upcoming cinematographers. What would you say to them?
I learned 3 things. One, if it's scary, it probably means you should do it.
Okay.
Because nothing worth doing will seem easy. Two, this is something I am learning now. Learn how to balance your time.
Okay.
Learn time management. I'm really bad at it. I'm horrible at it. Believe it or not, I'm really, really bad at it. Like, I'm really, really bad, but I'm getting better, right? And three, and this is the biggest lesson for me.
Okay.
If you have a dream, if you have a goal, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and put it in your head for your mother, your grandmother, your friends, your auntie, put it in your head for you.
Okay.
If you tell them and they don't see it, ain't for them to see. It's for you to see it, believe it, and make it a reality. So if my life goal is to create Disney animations,
yes,
is to create one of those, but with all Caribbean culture, with all Caribbean dialect. I don't want to Americanize anything. I always found it fascinating that Disney would create something Mexican related, but then everybody's speaking in an American accent. They're not Mexican.
Yeah.
So it's like it takes away. I want to create something like that with our entire culture through and through.
Okay.
So that's like my years in the future goal.
Okay.
And I don't think people thinks it's possible. I don't care. I'll do it still, because I know it's possible. It's just to apply myself. It's just to put in the work, and it's probably ain't gonna get to make 5 and 6 of them. Probably gonna only be able to make 1. But if I do it, then somebody else gonna see it and say, "Oh, so that's how he do it." Okay, well, let me try to do it now, and then that person gonna probably make 2.
Okay.
And then it just starts, but it just takes for somebody. So if you have a dream, don't tell nobody. And even if you tell them and they don't believe it, ain't for them to believe.
Okay.
It's really good advice. You were wise beyond your years, and I can't imagine what time will do to you. I think we all will see in time.
I feel like I just read a lot and know how to use words.
Well, Joy Napier would be grateful.
Jamie, what about his contact info?
You ask her.
Okay.
It's right here.
No, I just for those persons who are looking at you now and they're deciding after the work they would have saw that maybe I want to work with Devon. Well, not maybe. I want to work with Devon. Your contact info.
Okay. So if you need to contact me, you can contact me on Instagram at BTS Roland. I'm BTS Roland on everything. I won't give up my number. But BTS Roland on everything. Anything that you can think of, it's BTS Roland. BTS Roland, ROLAND. You can contact me for mainly your event stuff, those kind of stuff. That's mainly what I do. That's my niche, if that's what you want to call it. It's BTS Roland on everything. Yeah, we shall events.
Love it. $1 million smile too. All right. Thank you, Devon. Pleasure.
Thanks you all for having me, man.
Hey, you're welcome. It's definitely our pleasure. All right. More GMS Scan in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, it's Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it already. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lad. It's a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to our Hump Day show here at Good Morning SKN, and it is time for another edition of Black Legend Wednesdays. This is a segment where we highlight the influence of Black legends worldwide. Today's legend hails from one of our Caribbean neighbors, Jamaica. He was a political activist, a publisher, a journalist, an entrepreneur, and so much more. He is none other than the revolutionary Marcus Messiah Garvey. Are you familiar with his legacy, Jamie?
Not as much as I should be. I'm familiar with the name, and I know there are certain things that I've encountered through school, history in particular.
Okay.
Bit of reading after, but not as much.
No.
You?
Well, from research, I'm familiar, but not as tight-knit as I should be, as you rightfully said, because being Black, we should at least immerse ourselves or dive in, know what these persons stand for, especially when you hear their names over and over, because he's in countless of Jamaican artist songs. Burning Spear have him in there, the Marleys use him in there. So yeah, and he as I was telling you earlier, when he had the movement in Harlem about where he was telling Black persons to be equal, or to attain equality, you have to educate yourselves. You have to do what these persons are doing to have a piece of the pie. So yeah, those are the little things I know about him. And I also knew that he started a Black shipping line with, it said the name was White Line. He started Black Line. So Black people can have something for themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So Marcus Messiah Garvey was born on the 17th of August, 1887 in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. His father, Malachus Garvey, was a stonemason. His mother, Sarah Richards, was a domestic servant and the daughter of farmers. So humble beginnings.
Very much so.
Runaway Bay, I like that name.
Could you take that? I'm having visibility issues.
Okay. So he worked in journalism. In 1912, Garvey migrated to England. There he worked at the African Times, and Orient Review journal offices. These agencies were the first political journal produced by and for Black people ever published in Britain. Wow. Boy, real segregation back in those days, boy. African Times, Orient Review. Look at the illustration, boy. When we saw books like that in my younger days, I thought these are old. And the brown pages, like Petrine mentioned yesterday, I never knew it was bad to read from brown pages. I never knew that. Never knew it was bad. But they showed their age. Launching the UNIA and the ACL. In July 1914, Marcus Garvey returned to Jamaica from England with the help of an associate, Enos J. Soley, and about 4 others. He created the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the UNIA, and African Communities League, the ACL. He launched it on the 1st of August 1914, Emancipation Day, in the British-ruled Caribbean.
All right, how about I do this to rectify my visibility issues? Since nobody listened to me when I said that.
So that's the association I was trying to remember, the UNIA. That's the one that was in Harlem. Yeah.
Nice.
Listen, I need some ginkgo. My poor brains. And it's befitting that he established it on the day we were all emancipated from slavery.
All right, so the UNIA, the first UNIA division, was formed in New York in May 1917. Within a month, the organization had 2 million members all over the United States. By 1920, the UNIA had 1,100 chapters in 40 countries worldwide, including the UK, Cuba, Panama, Costa Rica, and Ghana.
Wow. He started a revolution. Go Marcus. Nice. Universal Negro Improvement Association. I even think the shipping business was in Harlem as well. And he had all the little businesses, so. Yep. The UNIA. By 1926, the membership of the UNIA had grown to over 11 million members. In its lifetime, Garvey built the most prominent Black organization in history. Nice.
That's a lot of members.
Yep.
11 million members.
Yeah, and the fact that he had it all over the world, Panama, Cuba, etc., Ghana, as far as Ghana. That's his shipping line too, Jamie. It not only plied trade, it shipped persons who wanted to go back to Africa as well. Yeah.
Garveyism. Through his work with the UNIA ACL, Garveyism was born. This is a movement inspired by the economic, racial, and political policies of UNIA ACL. It centers on the unification and empowerment of African-descended men, women, and children, and the repatriation of the descendants of enslaved Africans to the African continent.
So that's why I guess most of them decided, I'm going back home. Wow, a whole...
Is that Liberia? Yes.
Yeah, Liberia.
Black line. Black Star Line, yes.
Black Star Line, yeah. See, that's what I was saying, like White Star Line, Black Star Line. Launching the Black Star Line. Marcus Garvey launched the UNIA's first major commercial venture, the Black Star Line Steamship Corporation in New York in 1919. The corporation goals were to establish an efficient mode of transportation, communication, and trade among Black people worldwide. Yeah. So you got White Star Line, I'm gonna have Black Star Line. He really fought to ensure that he made a place in history and to ensure that Black people had the same equal rights or almost equal rights or some form of equality in his lifespan. Sad that he lived only to be, I think, 50? Why are the grates always chopped down? Boy, I wonder if I would take a trip on that ship. It looked a bit overladen, but yeah.
All right, well, turning now to his involvement in politics. In 1928, Garvey created the People's Political Party, Triple P, Jamaica's first modern political party and the first to defend the interests of the black majority. The party's manifesto called for official representation in the British Parliament, a minimum wage, land and judicial reform, a Jamaican university, public high schools, libraries, and more. So that manifesto, definitely. Wow, a lot of thought went into that. A lot of objectives as well.
Yeah, I wonder if, because they do have a university, they have a few Blair libraries in Jamaica. So, well, they have more than one university. The major one I would say is UWI. And then they have the other smaller ones around, the technical ones, etc., etc. Thank you, Marcus. Jamaica must be proud of you. Family life. Marcus Garvey's first wife was Amy Ashwood Garvey. Amy was a very active Pan-Africanist, social worker and activist for women's rights. They married in New York in 1919, but later divorced in 1922. And they made it to 2 years? 3 years? Or 2 years, because they divorced in 22. Okay. Funny enough, he married the next Amy, right? From 1922 to 1940. So he liked Amy's. If I could have a conversation with him, I would say, Mr. Garvey, why did you choose the next Amy?
All right, so Garvey's second wife was Amy Jack Garvey. They married in New York in 1922. Amy was his secretary and played vital organizational roles on the UNIA. They had 2 sons, Marcus Garvey Jr. and Julius Winston Garvey.
You see, second Amy. The Amy's.
So he got divorced in 1922 and he remarried in 1922.
Instantly. Jamie, there's a little pun in there, you know, the secretary.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's quite interesting, the timeline.
It's just me being me. Just saying, you know, the secretary.
Just being the timeline, I think it's quite interesting.
22. He loved being married, and his second marriage lasted until his death, so that's a good thing. Yes, this Amy made it all the way down to when he died. You know, he didn't hold up. He loved the thought of companionship, but it couldn't work with one person, so he thought he got it with the other person, you know?
No, I don't.
Jamie, just say okay. You don't have to agree with me. Well, you know, don't even say okay, because okay is that you're agreeing with me. But I'm just saying, you know, when I read it, I just smiled. I'd be like, boy, you really don't allow the heart to be broken for too long.
There's something I'm not going to say. I'm just going to leave it there. All right.
Don't say. So Garvey's ultimate dream was for the independence of all African countries and the creation of a United States of Africa. Liberia was the intended geographical base of the UNIA's African colonization venture. The UNIA embarked on a plan to repatriate some blacks from the United States and other parts of the African diaspora back to Africa. Well, I guess as I said, they wanted to go. Because I would want to go to visit, but I don't think I would want to go back.
It's interesting, that concept of going back to some place your ancestors came from, but you never did.
Yeah.
That concept. Interesting.
But maybe they had some folks that survived after the abolition of slavery that wanted to go back home. So maybe those were the set that went back home, and then the kids that they would have bore probably followed them back home as well.
I'm just thinking they would have been in their 90s by then, but
still want to go back home, you know, lay my bones where I'm from. Yeah. Well, he lived a good life. He left a legacy. We are still speaking about you, Mr. Garvey. May your soul continue to rest in peace. Thank you for all your contributions you would have done for the Black community and the African community, especially those. So yeah, there we go. So it's always good to know your history. So for those of us watching and those of us that have children, let them immerse themselves in African culture and let us celebrate Black History Month here in our island and throughout the Caribbean. With that said, stay tuned. Much more after this. Oh.
Yeah, well, apparently there's much more now. All right, so his demise. Yeah, before that.
Sorry, guys.
This. All right, so his demise. Garvey had a stroke in January 1940, which left him partially paralyzed on the 10th of June. Of that same year, Garvey died in London at age 53 without setting foot in Africa, so he never made it.
So 53 he died at, and he never went. And his line was transporting people back and forth, and he never. You see, he maybe was putting this off for a special occasion. You know, this is why we don't put off things. Just go. Just go, because he had all that a lucrative business, not only plying trade but taking people back to Africa as well. Okay. So we'll continue now with his legacy. Marcus Garvey has inspired every major Black movement of the 20th century, both in Africa and the Americas. Followers of Garveyism include the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela. Nice, and all of those are notable names that we do speak about and are part of Black History Month as well. Well, folks, there you have it for Mr. Garvey. Stay tuned. Much more after the break.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom. No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us. dreamy decor.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. In the segment of Loosen Up, Cortensia and I will be asking each other a series of thought-provoking questions to inspire deep conversation. You guys love to hear us talk deeply, don't you? Anyway, they love it, Cortensia. They want more of it. All right, so join us and share your answers in the comments below, your thoughts, because these are, again, thought-provoking questions, right? So we're gonna be prompted. So let's get those prompts coming.
I think the most thought-provoking discussion we've had here is marriage and divorce and what is a successful marriage.
No, that wasn't.
Yeah, so
that was a difference of opinion that others won't forget.
that's my thought-provoking. Like, well, why did you think that? But that's not successful. That's not successful. This didn't go that. Yeah.
I don't know. I just figure somebody loves to have us engage in deep conversations. So here we go. More deep conversations are coming.
Oh, word. Word indeed.
Why, I will never know.
Word indeed.
It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll?
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Why would Mr. Garvey marry an ex-Amy right after he got divorced from an ex-Amy? Imagine having feelings towards the first Amy, and then you got to call Amy, and you're like, Amy. And you'd be like, oh, no, that's not the Amy. You got to calm down and be like, Amy.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a deep conversation that we're heading to again? Because you just
no,
said we were talking about marriage and divorce.
I'm thinking about situations that could have happened with Amy number one.
Okay.
That he could have forgotten that this is the love of my life now. This is my love, Amy.
Well, that's definitely thought-provoking, but not my thoughts. Not provoking my thoughts at all. Okay, here we go. What gets you excited about life?
Jamie, I'm gonna let you start.
What gets me excited about life? Wow. Let's see. Since we're going deep, it's the air that we breathe. It's the sight, that I use.
Poetry, y'all. Poetry.
It's
Jamie's
very poetic.
Poetry.
I look up into the night. I see the night sky. It's just, really. What gets me excited about life? I don't know. Food, eating.
Do y'all believe that? Because I don't believe that. Because he doesn't act like me when it comes to food.
No, I'm not that extreme, but
I need my. Does somebody got my shirts?
You were a foodie. I'm not a foodie. I'm just. That's what I mean. I'm not at that end of the spectrum, but I do enjoy it.
But food gets you excited.
Yeah, it does to some degree. I mean, if you saw my baby pictures, you'd probably say it got me really excited.
What are we saying, in size or just eating?
Of course.
Okay.
But hey, when you grow up with a grandmother like mine, you'll definitely get excited. Happy 80th birthday, by the way. Today is her 80th birthday. Happy to have you around.
Grand.
All right. So what gets me excited about life? Lots of things. The ability to learn something, to stretch myself, to appreciate life from different perspectives. That gets me excited.
Okay. What gets me excited about life? Waking up every morning. I actually thought you would have said that. The fact that I wake up, the fact that I can walk, I can talk. I don't have that much bodily diseases or harm. Food, as you rightfully said. Going to Nevis. Could you believe just going to Nevis for like 2 hours gets me excited? Just the thought of going next door. Oh my gosh. Excitement. Doing something adventurous. Ooh la la. I cannot wait to do is it parasailing? Parasailing? Is it parasailing? Well, there's an adventure outlet, an adventure sport outlet at Reggae Beach. I can't wait to go up in that parachute and just glide behind that boat. So you see, guys, anything for adventure gets me excited. Eating, going to Nevis, waking up, being grateful for all that I have. Yeah. As Jamie say, eating everything. I don't care.
Yeah, was that deep enough for you, or are we going to go deeper still? Are we on the surface? Let's figure out.
Do you? I try to, but people say it's being fast. Like Devon said, people fast. But I just want to know, so it's not fast, I just want to know, like, I see somebody somewhere different today. I want to know what happened at your last job while you're here, and it's basically in the same area. And they'll be like, "No, Cotton, leave it alone. It's not your business."
There you go. None ya. You ever heard that? Can you finish that?
I know.
None ya. None your business, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But you want to know.
No, you want to know.
I want to know how that happened because it's important for me to know.
Why?
Because I need to know.
Why do you need
not
to know?
knowing gets me anxious.
About
because
what?
It calms my spirit to know that I know what I know because I need to know.
But
I need to be in every know.
Wow, okay, yeah. That's a lot of knowledge that I don't need. And this is me. Seriously. Do you ask enough questions or do you settle for what you know? Depends on whether those questions are about me or things that I can control. I keep saying that. I keep going back to that. If it's your business, I really don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know why you were missing. I don't need to know. Listen, I have one mind, and honestly, sometimes it's not enough to be able to handle all the thoughts and all the things that I need to know. I'm not going to get into your business. It's your business. You tell me what you want to. You don't tell me what you want to. It's fine. I'm not going to ask you. I really don't care. I don't want to know.
Like, I want to have a conversation with Tia because I want to know, what do you determine as a successful 14-year marriage that ended in divorce? So I want to know. See?
It didn't end in death, Hortensia. How about that? Successful. Nobody killed the other person. It was an amicable divorce. They're co-parenting well. They still get along. They still love each other. Here you go.
But we don't love each other and live apart, or we don't love each other and get divorced.
No, you just stay together, and for 10 years you don't love your husband, like you said yesterday that former First Lady Michelle Obama said.
Yeah, but she got back into love, but she didn't leave him.
But she stayed, exactly. But that to you
because
is successful.
Because they're phases of love. Yeah, that's successful because they're still in it.
But they're still in love. They're just not married.
Then you can't see you're still in love. I like you.
They still love each other, but they're not married. You get along better as friends or from a distance.
What is love if you love, and you live over there and I live over here?
Yeah.
It's not agape love we're talking about. We're talking about relational.
No, it's all right. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm not even asking the question because I don't want to know. I settle for what I do know, what I need to know.
I need to know. I'm sorry. I can't settle.
Yeah, there's some people who
it's
honestly.
It's hard to settle because I still have the anxiety of not knowing.
No, it doesn't affect me like that. Listen, that's your business. I really don't know. You could have gone to the moon for 3 years. You come back and you see me be like, hi.
Okay, fair enough.
It's been a while. And I'll leave it there. I'm not going to be like, where were you? What were you doing? Why didn't you come back? Yeah, no. Listen, no, I draw the line. Speaking of, here's another one. Is there a simple fact about life that you wish more people understood? Yeah, we need to mind our own business. Can I say that? Is that deep enough for you?
Is that the simple fact? That's your simple fact?
Yeah, leads to, I don't know, less conflict.
Okay. My simple fact is I wish people understand that a little kindness goes a long way. Because we look down at each other too much. If the man doesn't clean the drain, how will we live without diseases? Or how will our surroundings be tidy? If the garbage truck doesn't pick up the garbage. Come on.
We'll develop systems to do that.
We'll develop.
Yeah.
No, but the cleaner that cleans the hospital, that cleans the schools, let me say janitor, custodian, let me give them the nice name. Those persons, everybody has a place in society. And if they're not there, then things won't go, because for the person that thinks that they're uppity, they won't do it. So I just think that we should just spread a little kindness and understand that everyone, regardless of their educational background or whatever qualities, they all have a place in society. So I just think spread a little bit more kindness.
Spread a little kindness and don't expect anything in return. That's the part. That's the thing about it, because it's so weird to me as you say that. It's like you're doing something, expecting something in return. Live without expectations.
Yeah, because you get heartbroken, like how I have my anxiety.
Or you get surprised when you get something that's good coming your way. So it's not just necessarily about the heartbreak, but it's about the lack of expectation that leads to either a lack of disappointment
or a lack of surprise.
Or surprises, pleasant surprises for you. And that's a great way to live. That's what life is to me. You know?
Okay, fair enough.
No expectations necessary.
Okay.
You'll be happier.
Yeah, spread a little kindness.
Or live without expectations. You'd be happier.
Yeah.
Like the expectation that you'll survive the 7-year itch. Be happier. It ain't your fault. Don't worry. It wasn't you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. Oh, what's a belief that you hold with many that I should know everything?
You hold that belief?
Mm-hmm.
That you should know everything?
Yeah. They should be like, no, you don't have to, like, leave it alone.
That. Okay,
yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my belief. I believe that I should be in the know. Why I can't be in the know?
Business.
Why y'all disagreeing with me?
I don't want to know. Listen,
see?
That's just me. I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's a belief. No, I'm not fighting with politics nor religion. So that's the belief I have, that everybody think that I should know.
What? Why do you have to mention politics? What's a belief that you hold with
I'm
which
not fighting on those two.
many people disagree?
Walk away.
That's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think that I talk to a lot of people anyway, so I'm not sure that they would agree or disagree with me. I think at the end of the day, it's you mentioned politics, so I'll take it down that road. The voters are actually the ones who are in control. And I think that to some degree we've lost sight of that over the years. I mean, I've seen it over decades, that we've lost sight of the power that we have as the voters, and we put the power in one or two individuals' hands, and then we treat them as though they are gods, and we are dependent on them for favors and things like that. And I think that a lot of people disagree with me, because when I start talking and I start saying, well, you know what, if you analyze a situation, you might find there are more similarities than differences, although you're not comfortable with what I'm saying about the similarities. It's very interesting. Can you at least open your mind to that? Some people would just boldly say no. Some people would say, uncomfortably, yeah, I see what you mean. And it's good or bad, because the reality is the office doesn't change. The people occupying it, or people occupying the offices, do. And so the role of the office itself continues to be performed regardless of the people who are there. It's just a question of what they do and how, but overall the aim is the same. And so you might see some of the same efforts being made. You might see some of the same pitfalls occurring. So that's what I say. It's just a matter of time and timing after a while, right?
Okay, so that's your belief. I still believe y'all should let me allow myself to know everything, and don't tell me I'm too fat.
Do you think that crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Depends. This is a good one. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Yeah.
I think strength, because sometimes if you don't cry, they'll have to make space for you at 1840, right? Because
they are.
What you want to do, you can't do.
Oh, well.
So you got to cry it out. So cry. And there's this notion that boys are not allowed to cry. Boys, cry. We know the level of aggression you sometimes carry inside, so cry it out. Don't fight it out. Cry it out. It is a sign of strength and not weakness. Men are allowed to cry.
Oh, we are.
Cry on. Yes.
We're going to cry. Yeah. Crying sometimes is the only thing that you can do to express yourself in the situation, because if you express yourself the way that you really want to or need to, it's going to be problematic. And so sometimes you have nothing else to do, because there are competing things that determine, okay, are they going to influence you to do it, cry, or are they going to influence you to do something else, which is perhaps, depends. Depends on the situation.
But I don't even see how crying is a sign of weakness, though.
No, you come and you hit me. You think I'm going to stand there and cry?
Exactly.
No, you do that. That might be a sign of weakness if I cry. I'm not going to take that. Not at all.
So in that context, it could be a sign of, it shows that you're weak. But then it may not be weak. It shows that maybe you have some serious things bottled up in there. And if you only touch that man, he did.
Oh, that's what you're thinking about?
But you heard me say 1840, because the amount of aggression that might be in there. That's why you don't hit people and think because they're crying, they're weak. Ooh. These people be plotted in their heads. Take my advice. When they get you, you will wish you weren't like a twig, because they will break you in half.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think crying is a sign of strength. Never weakness. Or the kids just try to get their way. So they're putting their strength on us by knowing that if they cry, at the end of it, they get what they want. Yeah. When it's all said and done, will you have said more than you have done? Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. Let's go again. This is like one of those riddles, right? Because you've got to read it properly to understand it.
But I think I got it already. Go ahead, read on.
When it's all said and done, you've said more than you've done.
Like back to politics, because sometimes they don't get to do all that they say, and they get booed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a talker, which is surprising. Yeah, big surprise, right? I'm actually not a talker, I'm more of a doer, and I tend to move in stealth mode. I prefer that. Occasionally I'll change, but honestly, seriously, like if I could get to a place with nobody seeing me, like the other day I went to town in my hoodie, but it was like, hey, Unabomber. It was like, I guess I reminded them of the Unabomber. I had my sunglasses on. A friend of mine, so it was a joke, right? But yeah, I that's just to say how I navigate. I don't like to draw attention to myself, and sometimes when you say more, then you also say what you're going to do, and then it holds you accountable. You haven't said, you've said, but you've not done.
You have not done, exactly. So yeah.
What about you?
So say less, and then just do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, as I said, like I put the notion compared to a politician. And that's why when I read it first, I'd be like, yeah, because I have always said more and have not gotten stuff done. You know me? Like I said, I'm going to finish this by that, and then it's not done. Yeah. So that's why I said, yeah.
And the day after Valentine's Day, you know, when you finessed your wife and told her how much you love her, she's looking at the garbage piling up inside the house, and she's saying, yeah, you said that you love me, but you're really not showing me. Take the garbage out, okay?
Take the garbage
Do a
out.
load of laundry. Do something. Anything to make sure that what you say is backed up by what you do.
What about the courting stage? When they say they're going to do all these things, and then when you get married, you'll be like, but I thought you said you were going to do this, or you were going to do that, and you were going to do this.
I think those are grounds for divorce, you know. Because you said, you took vows, you know, and you said.
But in the vows didn't say, when you were going
vows.
out to dinner to hold conversations, you said, okay, I'm going to pick up this, I'm going to do that, you're going to pick up this, and you're going to pick up that. But then it comes to shove, and you don't pick up anything, and you don't do that. So you would have said more than you would have done.
Here's the joke, and I said it before. Love, honor, and what's that word that's missing? Obey. Yeah, it's like, no, modern women, they're not going to obey you, okay? So, yeah, appreciate that.
That's not true.
Obey?
That's not true. It's not obey. It's called respect. Because a man doesn't need love, you know. He just needs respect. So if you show him the utmost respect, you get whatever you want. But when you don't respect him, then you got problems and you don't get nothing. So yeah.
Sorry, I don't want anybody to obey me. It's okay. Don't obey. Nah.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect the man. That's what he needs. He clearly says that though.
I see.
No.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah. Thought-provoking question. So have we gone deep enough for you?
What could society do without hate, colorism, racism, sexism?
Money.
No, they're gonna die.
No. I think that if we were without money, we'd develop other systems of bartering. So we'll actually be trading goods. We'll actually be trading services. We wouldn't be using money. Money to me is interesting because what it is like an in-between. So it's an indirect payment. Well, it's a direct payment, but to get what you want, you're not going to get it directly. So you're not going to be performing. You're going to get money, and then you use that money to get what you want.
So you basically say we're using money as like the carrot in front of the horse or the apple in front of the horse to get people to do.
No, I'm actually saying that, okay, we work to get money.
Yes.
But that money I use to provide shelter, to provide clothing, to do all these other things.
Etc.
But if I worked and I got shelter, would I need the money? If I worked in exchange for clothing, would I need the money? If I worked in exchange for food, would I need the money? If I worked in exchange for weapons, would I need the money? I'm just saying. For countries. You know, you trade. There are different things that you can trade.
How do we, because we need money, I don't know.
We're a capitalistic society. So that's why we think.
Because before they bartered and it worked out. But then, why did they invent money then? Why couldn't they see bartering as a...
We could do without it.
As a good thing, because eventually they got their little gold coins that we still find now under the sea, etc., etc. They saw a need to make these things more valuable, would you say?
I guess it was easier, you know. Hey, but yeah, do we need money? Unpopular opinion, possibly, because we think we need more money. I think we can actually do without.
Money drives us,
the money if we find ways to exchange what we're good at for something that we need.
Yeah, because somebody told me the other day they are finally making the amount of money that they should make, and they thought they would have had a good life, but then cost of living went up. Yeah, so now they can't enjoy their monies. So money, yeah.
What's that lesson that you wish that people would know about life? Understanding life is one of those things that, it's full of surprises. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely full of
Imagine
surprises.
you finally making your money to enjoy yourself, having a major lump sum, and then...
It's like a jack in the box. That's what it is. It's like a jack in the box. You think that you're there, it's going to come out and it's going to laugh right at you. Sometimes. So you laugh along with it.
Yeah.
That's what I do, right? Laugh along with it.
But what if they don't want to laugh?
What do you think society could do without, though? I don't think you answered that question. Hatred.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
hatred, colorism, sexism,
Okay.
racism, all those good things.
All right.
Yeah, I think they could do without that.
Yeah, leave it to me. I think we could do without money.
Money.
What lifts your spirits when life gets you down? Music. Yeah, I've been listening to Cam. I don't know if you've ever seen Cam.
Okay.
And I do what he did in that video. I forgot which one it was.
You run around the house pretending you're playing the guitar with your big wigs?
Not the guitar, but definitely taking up the remote as my microphone. That's it. I mean, anytime I found myself doing that when I had to rehearse. It's like when I was younger. It's like, here's my microphone. We're in this. This is my stage, and I'm dancing around the house. It's interesting. Yeah.
Music lifts everyone's spirit. That's why we use music to clean. Use music to clean. So it lifts. What lifts my spirit is food, music, and a good motivational speaker, and some exercise. So those 4 things: food, music, motivational speaker, good exercise.
I'm just picturing myself as Tom Hanks in that movie. I forgot which one it was. Maybe it was his first one, when he was in the house and he had his shirt on. He's just sliding out and he's dancing. So we do things like that when nobody's looking.
Did you see Turkey Killer?
No.
His suit wasn't shiny. He had on white shoes. He had on a red suit. He had on, I think, a white tie. And he was dancing for the Digital Valentine thing. He was doing the Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Listen, you need to see that.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to see it.
Wow. That name always takes me back to Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. In any event. Yeah, so we've gone deep. I think hopefully we've gone deep enough for you.
Yeah.
If not, who knows? This segment might re-emerge. Anyway, we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long. But follow us and yeah.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
There is a popular trend on social media currently where people express some of their pet peeves that instantly turn a promising relationship into a deal breaker. The trend is called "There are 10 but." So as we loosen up, we will be going through some of the posts persons have made via social media. As we do this, we will share if they would be deal breakers for us as well. This, of course, all in
jest.
All in jest, sorry. So have fun with us and let us know your opinion in the comment section.
Or let us know why you would comment.
I didn't want to say heist.
You can try
Because of
that.
like heist? No, no heist. There are 10, but they can go a whole day without talking to you.
Love it.
There are 10, but they can go a whole day without talking to you. Yeah, because I don't like people bothering me sometimes. So yeah, we don't got to talk every day. I know somebody who would give it a wah because they're going to say, oh, you don't care. But it's not that. It's that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was quicker than you. It's okay. We're not like Tony Braxton here. We're not going 7 whole days, right? But a day, you could. Do you look good when you're late? That's the question. I mean, am I going to be looking at somebody walking down the red carpet?
There are 10, but they're always late.
I don't know. What's going on here? You were 10, but you're always late. Like, you're never early. Like, I can't go.
Not always. We could be sometimes, but not always.
Sorry, deal breaker.
Can't be late every time, man. What's wrong with you?
Sometimes, come on. Be
What's
early, be
wrong
on
with
time.
you? And especially when it's on the side of my other half, yeah. They're 10, but they act entitled.
To what? Like, seriously, what are you entitled to?
Everything. Stay home.
You're entitled to me? Is that what you think? You're entitled to my time? You're entitled to
Your
other
monies,
things? People need to move out of the way for
your
you?
car, your house, your bed.
You can be rude to the waiter?
Yeah.
You can be rude to the server because you think she's smiling at me a little too friendly? No. Cut it out.
I love how Jim incorporated himself, y'all. He incorporated himself. So future Mistress Jamie, don't take it anything personal. He's just a personable guy. There's nothing's gonna happen, okay?
No, just appreciate that people like what you have. Of course, nobody has me, but hey. Just appreciate it.
I just had to shade myself a bit from the light.
I see.
There are 10, but they don't wash their... Oh, no.
If you don't wash your hands after using the bathroom, you are not...
Ugh.
No.
Yo, I got goosebumps from that.
I've witnessed this, by the way. If you've ever... Let's talk about the fact... I've witnessed this. You've not witnessed this?
Especially with the fellas that roll out the bathroom and think you don't need to wash your hands. You
The
be
fellas
nasty.
that do that, and then they go, right? Like, when
Don't
I
touch
went
me.
to the counter store at college, you wouldn't know. We were so touchy-feely in high school and so on. And sometimes I'm there, I'm in the bathroom, and I see these guys come in, and they don't wash their hands in college. They get out, and they see a girl, and they go, hey! And they start touching hands, and they're holding, and they're hugging. And you're like, do you know where his hand was? I'm like, wow.
Jamie, you should have informed the other person.
Why would I do that?
Say somebody wash their
Hortensia,
hands.
this is the difference between you and me. It's none of my business. He's not touching me. That's fine.
But then imagine if that person brushes you, the person that he touched brushes you, the germs just keep going on. It's a gift that keeps on germing.
Like when you hold the money and when you touch the door.
That's why you
stuff.
have to wash your hands right after money. I always wash my hands right after
Wow.
money.
Yeah, trust me, I've seen it, and I'm like, please don't touch my
As soon as I get
hand.
in the car, I do the sanitization. But then when I come out again, I have to, put some on the outside.
Good.
Weird
Lord.
stuff, right?
Watch here. Wash your hands.
Stop being nasty. Yep.
I'm just saying it nicely. Wash your hands.
They're a 10, but they have no sense of humor.
Okay, so I'm going to rationalize this here. If you have no sense of humor, you can't appreciate my sense of humor. And my sense of humor really isn't for everybody. I know that. So, sorry. You've got to appreciate something on some level, right?
Yeah, I just had it out there because I'm a joker. I like to laugh. I like to say silly stuff. So, yeah. No sense of humor, you can't go.
I say God has a sense of humor all the time. And if you think of God that way, you'd realize that when life slaps you, it's actually a funny thing sometimes.
Exactly. Boy, I'm finally having a lot of stop. This traffic isn't going anywhere.
They're a 10, but they have no ambition.
This traffic is just not going anywhere. So you see why the relationship is not worth it?
But I say hang on because I want to rationalize this again. But if she's a 10, that means that she's looking like Cindy Crawford. I mean, she's got long hair. I mean, she's a perfect trophy wife. She's got the curves.
You want a
like
trophy?
The car, it's great.
God.
This is a tough one for a lot of guys because she's like perfect, but for the fact that she has no ambition. You know where I'm going with this, right? Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Because I'm like, you can't live with that.
Really?
Because you have to support everything, including our upkeep. That can become
Yeah, she's
stressful.
a 10, so what do you care? She's like
Yeah,
perfect.
she looks like a 10, but in order to maintain that 10, you gotta.
She's perfect, isn't she? She's like the angel that fell down from heaven.
Yeah, because some fellas
Right in
ain't
front of
no
you.
10. The woman doing everything.
Oh my gosh.
Can't work. Can't work. Help us out now. Thank
But
you.
she looks good. I'm like, she looks amazing. I feel like I'm stuck in a Seinfeld
He looks
episode.
amazing. She looks amazing. They ain't got no ambition. They can't fly. Bep. No.
I feel like I'm stuck in a Seinfeld episode, really, that we're discussing this now. 'Cause it's like the one with man hands. Anyway. Oh, dear God, no.
This traffic is stuck.
They're
Yo,
a 10,
we have a
but they
traffic
constantly
jam.
talk about themselves.
We hardly get to use the green light. We just like stopping.
Yeah, so there's more to the world than you. Sorry.
Exactly. And once I get to know everything about you, I don't want to know nothing else.
Do you ever get to know everything, though? You don't. You
No,
think
you
you do.
don't, because people don't tell you everything. They really don't tell you everything.
Wow. Guys, I'm sorry. We're stopping traffic, as Cortensia said. We're not progressing at all.
Not going anywhere. This is not the bomb.com at all. We're just stuck.
Wow.
Okay.
They were 10, but they start every conversation with what you doing? Okay, yeah. What are you doing?
But wait, in the context of the conversation, so we start, good morning, how are you? What you doing? Oh no.
No, you didn't start with it.
So they just start with what you're doing. Okay.
Wow.
I don't think it's really a deal breaker because it could be, honestly, they know you're out doing something, so
Guess
they
what?
just want to know what you're doing.
We'll be successful for about 6 months, according to you, right? The timeline. She's a 10. Hello, she's a 10.
What you doing? It's not bad. I don't think starting a conversation with what you're doing is bad.
Every conversation.
Asking where you're at, I don't like that. Don't keep asking me where I'm at. No, I don't like that. But what you're doing, not bad.
Wow. What you doing?
What you doing?
No, it's okay. Please don't. Oh, well, this is a good one. They're a 10, but they get jealous easily.
This is the easiest one ever. Well, all of my reds are easy, but yeah, this is very easy. No.
They're a 10. Hello. Just like.
So all you're seeing is the 10? But you could deal with the jealousy?
They're a
Madness.
10.
Can we get into, we need to have a segment where we get into the mind of guys, and it'll be hosted by Jamie, and we'll have a whole panel of guys. I will be there to listen and formulate questions because I understand how they
She's
think.
not a 6. She's not a 7 or a 7.4. She's a 10.
Oh,
10s are real, right?
No,
They are real.
10s are crazy. How can somebody listen?
You get jealous easily. Okay, that's fine. That just means that you really care about me and you want me all to yourself. Yeah, it's all right.
You better hope a prison cell ain't show up in your house
easily.
that you have to report to every time you come home.
They're 10, but they can't cook.
That could work. That's why restaurants are available. You just
Really?
gotta work for more money.
All right, we'll learn together. I'll add that. Okay, so there we go. That could work.
Restaurants are
You're 10.
available.
You can do other things, right?
Oh Lord.
You can do other things. So
Who says?
maybe you can clean. You can't cook, but you can clean.
But then if they can't cook, that means they can't clean, you know.
No, it doesn't mean that.
Because they don't mess up when they cook to know how to clean. Yeah. That's how we got to look at it.
You're one of those people who keeps dishes under the bed, Cortensia? Come on, what are you talking about? They clean the house. They can clean. They don't need to.
Listen.
You said they go together.
My bed had to be right there for me to. Dishes under the bed? I never heard of that until today. Never heard of
Oh,
that.
I have heard of that. Oh, yeah.
I saw a picture the other day with this guy. He cooked. Well, I know it's. Well, not a picture, a meme that says he just cooked 1 egg. Jamie, if you see dishes. And that's me, you know. I don't understand. Like, I use like 20 spoons just to do one thing, and my sink just gets overly populated. And then even my sisters would come in and say, "Can they see here, no?" I'd be like, "Why would you be like, you can't see the sink?"
Wow.
Whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. That don't matter. Gossip makes the world go round. I need to know.
Yeah, you need to know. I don't. I'd rather not know. Don't tell me.
Oh, so she could be a 10, but once she gossips, she can't work. That's unfair. Your belly needs food.
No, it's okay.
Your belly needs food.
No. No.
Your belly needs food.
Go. No.
See, I'm going. My traffic's moving. Jamie traffic's stuck. Yep.
Oh my gosh. What are we in kindergarten? They're 10, but they chew with their mouth open. I don't need to see all of that, do I? Do I need to see your grinders? I mean, like, I'd rather not. Chomp, chomp. I'd rather not. I would rather not.
Yep.
They were 10, but they burp really loudly. So how are they a 10 if they burp really loudly? Like, seriously. Do we call these people? You just have to see them, but they burp really loudly. I mean, how many points do you... Come on, that's like 3-4 points at least that you take away. You subtract for that burp. So they're really 6, aren't they? If they're going to do that. Cause,
they're a 10.
Really? But they burp really loudly?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about man burps? Because if we're talking about...
man burps that ladies can do.
Man burps. I'm sorry. No, it's quite hard.
My traffic moving.
No man burps.
They're a 10, but they don't like Marvel movies.
That's not a deal breaker, okay? That's definitely not a deal breaker
for me, because you're not going to fall asleep while I'm enjoying the movie.
They're a 10. Why would you be watching the movie when you can just look at them?
No, I don't want to look at them. They're not a mirror. Come on. I want them to engage in Marvel movies with me. So, deal breaker. Wah, wah, wah.
No, sorry. If you're out there and you're a 10 and you don't like Marvel movies, it's not a deal breaker for one of us.
Oh, God. That's conflict right there. That's conflict. So don't even bother with the 10. Just minus it to 0 and leave the situation. Because it's harsh.
Yeah.
It plays on the mind of everybody, including not wanting to be around the individual and the individual trying their best and being uncomfortable around the family members.
Well, guess
so,
what?
folks, just leave it.
No, well, can I do this? Because maybe if they were an 11, then we, you know, can we add a point? Maybe they look better than a 10.
Oh my gosh. You're going to add a point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the point. All right, there we go. We just got the point. Awesome. All right.
I just decided to put my jacket up a bit.
All right, so we're going to go to commercial after that one. Yeah, I think we need to recoup, recover, and we'll be back in a moment. All
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to GMS Scan. Here's what's coming up. All right, so Dr. Andrew Hunt, head of the School of Humanities and Education, will be telling us about the UE 5 Island campus recruitment. All right, so that's tomorrow. And Mark Warner, the owner of 869 Access Services, will also be here. So you want to stay tuned for that. And of course, we're going to thank you for joining us today for another edition of GMS Scan. Tune in daily to find a little bit of everything for everyone, and get your friends and family members to watch as well. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. and on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. And remember to, when I retain the sign for this reason, like. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And check out our website as well, studio327inc.com, to learn more about SKN and Studio 327.
Indeed, and leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And see you tomorrow, Thursday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning bright and early with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Thank you for watching. Choose to be nice today and spread a little kindness. And see you tomorrow.